In this video, we're going to look at early multiplication with tape diagrams and arrays. Before we jump into this word problem that I've written, one of the myths that I want to kind of break is that in Common Core, they don't learn math facts. Yes, your students will still learn multiplication facts or the times tables. Okay, they are going to do that. I promise you. They are going to have all their times tables facts that they're going to have to memorize and complain bitterly about it. However, what I want to show you is how we can use tape diagrams and arrays to introduce the idea of multiplication. And of course, we always look at word problems when we're introducing it. Okay, so for this problem, it says 5 students are working in a group. Each student has 4 crayons. How many crayons are there in total? You like my camera work? I hope I didn't make you too dizzy. Okay, so what I want to do is show you the tape diagram method and then the arrays. So a tape diagram, as we hopefully recall, is just a long rectangle. Okay. All right, what we're going to do though is we're going to chunk this up so that it represents the 5 students. So this will be 1 student, 2 students, the 3rd student, and then 4 and 5. So this is representing the 5 students. Okay, so think of their work desks, if you will. Okay? All right, great. Now, each of these students is going to be given 4 crayons. So you can either draw 4 crayons in, or you could just represent the number 4. So this first person gets 4 crayons. 4, 4, 4, and 4. Okay, so how many do we have in total? Well, we are adding 4 5 times, and repeated addition is the same thing as multiplication. So we get the answer of 20. All right, so that is an example of using a tape diagram. Each box represents the student, and the number inside represents what we're giving them, which are 4 crayons each. Okay. Arrays are a popular way in Common Core. And the idea here is that you actually are going to imagine dealing out crayons. So you basically will have, arrays have rows and columns, okay? So basically imagine that the first person is going to get 4 crayons. So there's their 4 crayons. The next person's going to get 4 crayons. The next person's going to get 4 crayons. Excuse me. The next person. And then the next person. So, if you wanted to, you can write this as first student, second student, third, fourth, and fifth. Okay. So, you'll see that this is a total of 20. Okay, awesome. And again, we are learning the math fact that 4 times 5 is 20. Okay, now you can use circles for arrays. I've also seen them use X's. So why don't I go ahead and do one more quick problem, because they don't take very long, where I use both a tape diagram and an array. So let me pause this while I erase the board. And we're back. So I've made up a problem that says Mr. Brown wants to arrange the desks in 6 table groups of 5 desks each. How many total desks are there? Okay, and again, as adults, we see 6 times 5 and we get 30, and you'll have some smart kids also who say that as well. But let's direct them to drawing a tape diagram and an array. So that way, again, we model both. So for the tape diagram, we're going to let each box represent a group. So there were 6 groups. So these are my 6 groups. Okay? Each of these groups has 5. 5 desks in each group. So I have repeated addition, which is the same thing as multiplication. So I get my answer of that there are 30 desks. All right. Let's now model it over here with arrays. So there's my tape diagram example. Let's go over here to arrays. You don't have to write the word array, but since array is new, I'm writing it. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to use X's this time. So I'm going to have my first group has 5 desks. My second group, 5 desks. My third group, 5 desks. Fourth, fifth, and then finally sixth. You can probably guess which method I prefer. All right, maybe you can't guess. I prefer tape diagrams. They're much more efficient, but arrays are taught. Sorry, you're gonna have to teach them to your students. They're not bad. It's not awful. It's just I have to draw 30 X's here. So that's kind of a little bit of a pain. So here again, I'm showing that 6 times 5 is 30. Okay. So there we have it. Tape diagrams and arrays. Good luck.